Buddhism teaches that no one can make you feel angry unless you give them that power. The key to peace isn't in controlling others, but in learning to control your own mind. So, how do you stop letting people bother you? How do you remain calm, no matter what happens? In this video, we will explore the Buddhist wisdom that can help you master your emotions, let go of anger, and find true inner peace. Take a deep breath. Let's begin. Imagine you were sitting in traffic already late for an important meeting, and someone suddenly cuts you off. Your heart races, frustration builds up, and before you know it, you're gripping the steering wheel, fuming with anger. Why does this happen so easily? Why do other people's actions have so much control over your emotions? Have you ever wondered why a single comment from someone can ruin your entire day? Why does one rude remark or an unfair situation stay in your mind for hours, even days? Is it possible to remain completely unaffected by what others say or do? Think about a moment when someone upset you recently. Did that anger help you in any way? Did it make the situation better, or did it only disturb your peacemaking? You replay the moment again and again in your head. Imagine if you could let go of these reactions. Imagine if you could move through life without getting angry, without letting others' words or actions affect you. How much more peaceful would your mind be? How much more control would you have over your own emotions? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a place where ancient Buddhist teachings meet modern life challenges. In this video, you'll discover powerful insights that will help you never get angry or bothered by anyone again. These teachings are simple, yet transformative. But before we begin, a small request. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So, if you find this content valuable, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow, and we truly appreciate your support. Also drop your thoughts in the comments. We love to hear your perspective. Anger is a fire that burns within, but what if you could put it out before it even starts? In Buddhism, anger is seen as one of the three poisons of the mind, along with greed and ignorance. It clouds judgment, distorts reality, and leads to suffering. But here's the truth: anger is not something others give to you. It is something you create within yourself. Most people believe that their anger is justified. They disrespected me, they were unfair. But the real question is, does your anger change the situation, or does it only make you suffer more? Think about it. A rude cashier, a harsh boss, a friend who let you down. Who suffers the most from your anger? The truth is, it's always you. Buddhism teaches that our suffering comes not from external events, but from our reactions to them. The same situation can happen to two different people. One remains calm, the other explodes in rage. The difference isn't in what happened, but in how they chose to react. You have that choice too. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is non-attachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting things control your emotions. Imagine if every rude comment, every unfair moment just passed through your mind like the wind through an open window. No resistance, no clinging, just peace. The first step to never getting angry again is recognizing that your emotions are your responsibility. No one else can control how you feel unless you let them. When you blame others for your anger, you give them power over your mind. But when you take responsibility, you take back control. Think about the last time someone annoyed you. Was it their words that hurt, or was it your interpretation of their words? The mind is like a mirror. It reflects whatever you focus on. If you focus on anger, you will find more reasons to be angry. If you focus on peace, nothing will bother you. Monks often use a simple practice to train their minds against anger. When someone insults them, instead of reacting, they pause and observe. They remind themselves, this insult is just words, just sounds in the air. Why should I let it disturb me? And just like that, they remain unaffected. This practice is not about suppressing emotion. Suppression is like holding a ball underwater. It will eventually pop up with more force. Instead, it's about understanding emotions, seeing them for what they are: temporary, passing, and ultimately under your control. Imagine a tree standing strong in a storm. The wind may blow fiercely, but the tree does not chase the Wind it remains grounded, unshaken. You can be that tree the world will throw. Storms at you rude, people, unfair situations, disappointments, but you don't have to chase the wind. This journey is not about never feeling anger, it's about never being controlled by anger. In the next part, we will uncover the illusion of control and why most of our frustration comes from trying to control what we simply cannot. Stay with us. Peace is closer than you think. The illusion of control. Why others' actions shouldn't affect you. You were sitting at a cafe, enjoying your tea. The morning is peaceful, then someone enters, speaking loudly on the phone, disturbing the silence. Your peace is gone. In an instant, you feel irritation rising. Why do people have no consideration? Why can't they behave properly? But wait, who is truly disturbing your peace, the loud person or your own mind? Most people believe their frustration comes from others. If only they behaved better, I wouldn't be angry. If only they understood me, I wouldn't be upset. But this is a trap, a dangerous illusion. It makes you believe that your happiness depends on others, that you can only be at peace if the world behaves the way you want. But the world will never fully obey your wishes. People will always do things you dislike. If your peace depends on them, you will never be free. Think about it. Have you ever seen a bird complaining about the wind? The wind blows as it pleases, yet the bird does not resist. Its simply adjusts its wings and keeps flying. But humans fight the wind. They get angry at people for being rude. They get annoyed when things don't go their way. But does the wind listen? Do people suddenly change because of your frustration? No, and in the end you are the one who suffers. Buddhism teaches that control is an illusion. You cannot control people. You cannot control life. The only thing you can control is your reaction. If you rely on others to act a certain way before you can be happy, then you have given away your power. You have made yourself a puppet controlled by the strings of others' actions. Ask yourself, how many times have you been angry over something that didn't matter? A few days later, a rude driver, a cold look, a careless word. So many moments of frustration, all forgotten with time. If they didn't matter later, why did they matter so much in the moment? Why let them steal your peace? Imagine two people stuck in traffic. One is furious, punking, cursing, checking the time every minute. The other is calm, listening to music, enjoying the moment. The traffic is the same, the situation is the same, but their experience is completely different. Why? Because one fights reality while the other accepts it. This is the secret. Resistance creates suffering. When you fight the way things are, you create your own pain. But when you accept reality as it is, you become free. If someone speaks rudely, let them. If someone acts unfairly, so be it. Their actions are the wind, and you are the bird. Adjust your wings and keep flying. But you may ask, if I don't react, one people walk all over me. No, true strength is not in reacting, it is in choosing when to react and when to let go. A wise person knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Not everything needs your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Imagine a man sitting by a river, watching the water flow. A leaf falls and carried away by the current. He does not jump in to stop it. He does not fight the river. He simply watches, understanding that the leaf will go where it must. This is how you must treat life. Let things come, let things go. Hold on to nothing, resist nothing. There is a Zen saying, let go or be dragged. What does it mean? It means that when you hold on to anger, frustration, or control, you suffer. You are dragged by your own mind. But the moment you let go, the moment you stop trying to control others, you become weightless, free. Think of a time when you let go of something that once made you angry. Maybe a fight with a friend, a mistake someone made, a disappointment. When you let go, didn't you feel lighter? Didn't you feel a peace? That peace was always available. It was just hidden behind your resistance. Buddhism teaches that we suffer because we expect things to be different from what they are. We want people to be kinder. We want life to be easier, but reality doesn't follow our wishes. The moment you accept this, a great weight is lifted. The moment you stop expecting people to change, you stop being disappointed. Think about this. If you drop a glass, it will break. If you touch fire, it will burn. You don't get angry at the glass for breaking. You don't curse the fire for being hot. Why? Because you Accept their nature. People are the same. Some will be rude, some will be selfish. Some will misunderstand you. It is their nature. Getting angry at them is like getting angry at fire for burning. It is pointless. So what can you do? Observe, but don't engage. See, but don't react. Someone speaks harshly. Let their words be like wind passing through an open window. Don't trap them inside you. Don't hold on to them. Imagine a clear blue sky when a cloud passes. The sky does not try to stop it. It does not say stay here, don't move. No. It lets the cloud drift away, knowing that behind it the sky is still blue. Still peaceful. Your mind should be like the sky. Let thoughts, emotions, and people's actions pass like clouds. Don't hold on, don't resist, just let them go. This is not weakness, this is power. The strongest person is not the one who reacts to everything, it is the one who chooses what deserves their energy. If you waste your energy on every small irritation, you will be exhausted. But if you protect your peace, if you let go of what does not serve you, you will have limitless strength. So ask yourself, do you want to be the person who fights the wind, or do you want to be the bird who flies freely? The choice is yours. In the next part, we will go deeper into the ego, the true source of irritation. Why do we feel the need to react? Why do we take things personally? The answer will change the way you see yourself in the world. Stay with us. The journey to peace has just begun. Letting go of ego, dissolving the root of irritation. Do you know what causes most of your anger? It is not the words people say. It is not the things they do. It is not even the situations that go against your expectations. The real cause of anger hides deep within you. It is your ego. Imagine this. You are walking down the street lost in thought, when suddenly someone bumps into you without even apologizing. What is the first thing that rises inside? Is it patience? Is it understanding? No, for most people it is irritation. How dare they? Don't they have any manners? But think about it. Why do you feel this way? Because your ego feels disrespected now. Imagine the same situation, but this time you realize the person who bumped into you is blind. Do you still feel anger? No, your mind instantly shifts from irritation to understanding. Why? Because your ego is no longer involved. You no longer take it personally. This is what ego does. It makes everything about you. Someone ignores your message. They don't respect me. Someone criticizes your work. They are attacking me. Someone speaks harshly. They are insulting me. But what if none of this is actually about you? What if people act based on their own struggles, their own thoughts, their own emotions? What if their words and actions are simply reflections of their state of mind, not yours? Buddhism teaches that the ego is an illusion. It is not real. It is just a collection of thoughts, labels, and ideas you have built about yourself over time. But this illusion is fragile, and because it is fragile, it is always looking for protection. It wants to feel respected. It wants to feel important. Then when something threatens it, an insult, a rejection, a failure, it reacts with anger. But what if you could step outside of this illusion? What if you could see yourself not as this me that needs constant defense, but as something much deeper? A Zen story tells of a man who went to a wise monk and said, I am always angry. People disrespect me and I cannot control my temper. The monk smiled and asked who was angry. The man said, I am angry. The monk replied, show me this eye that is angry. The man was confused. What do you mean? I'm right here. The monk shook his head. No, not your body, not your name, not your thoughts. Show me the real eye that is angry. The man thought and thought, but he could not answer. The monk finally said, you see, the eye that is angry does not exist. It is just a thought, and a thought can be changed. This is the secret to dissolving anger. The moment you stop identifying with your ego, the moment you stop making everything about you, anger loses its power. You stop reacting. You stop taking things personally. You become free. Think about this. If someone calls you a fool, what actually hurts? The words? No, words or just sounds. What hurts is your attachment to your own image. You believe you are intelligent, so when someone calls you a fool, your ego feels attacked. But what if you had no attachment to this image? What if you simply laughed and moved on? Would there be any suffering? A river does not get offended when people throw stones into it. It simply keeps flowing. Be like the river. Let people say what they want. Let situations unfold as they do. Nothing can touch you unless you hold on to it. Buddhist monks train in this every day. They practice humility not because they think less of themselves, but because they do not think of themselves at all. They let go of the need to be right. They let go of the need to be respected, and because of this, nothing disturbs their peace. Here is a simple practice for you. The next time someone upsets you, ask yourself, is this really about me? Am I reacting because of my ego? What happens if I just let this go? You will notice something powerful. Most things do not deserve a reaction. When you stop feeding the ego, it shrinks, and as it shrinks, so Does your anger? You do not have to fight for your worth. You do not have to prove yourself. You do not have to react to every little thing. Let the world do what it does. Let people say what they say. You remain still like a mountain in the wind. The less ego you have, the less anger you feel. The less anger you feel, the more peace you experience. This is not weakness. This is ultimate strength. In the next part, we will go even deeper. We will explore the nature of permanence and how understanding this truth can free you from irritation forever. Stay with this journey. Peace is closer than you think. Understanding impermanence. Nothing is worth your frustration. Listen carefully. Everything you see, everything you feel, everything you experience, it will pass. The anger, the sadness, the frustration, the joy, nothing stays, not even you. This is the truth of impermanence, and yet people hold on. They hold on to their anger, their pain, their expectations. But tell me, how can you hold on to something that is already slipping away? Imagine you were standing by a river. The water flows past you, never stopping, never staying the same. Would you try to hold on to it? Would you reach out and try to grab the water in your hands? Of course not. You know that. No matter how tightly you squeeze, the water will slip through your fingers. This is how life is. This is how emotions are. Yet when someone says something rude, when life doesn't go as expected, people react as if that moment will last forever. They let a single event ruin their day, their week, even their life. But the truth is, nothing stays. Not the insult, not the frustration, not the pain. It is all like the river, always moving, always changing. Tell me, why do you get angry? Is it because you think the situation is wrong? Because you believe things should be different? But who told you that life will always go the way you want? Who promised you that people will always be kind, that everything will be fair? These are just your own expectations, and expectations are dangerous. They make you believe that life owes you something, but life owes you nothing. It simply flows. Think about the last time you were angry. What happened? Someone was unfair, someone ignored you, someone disrespected you. Then what did you do? You held on to that anger, replaying the moment over and over in your mind. But did your anger change anything? Did it fix the past? Did it make the other person regret their actions? No, it only disturbed your peace. The moment passed, but you refused to let it go. Buddha once said, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. You see, the anger does nothing to the other person. It only burns you. Then what is the fire that keeps it burning? Your own mind, you might say. But what they did was wrong. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But what does it change? Life will not stop for you. Time will not rewind. No matter how unfair, no matter how painful, it is already gone the moment you understand. This anger loses its power. Look around you. Everything is changing. The trees grow, the seasons shift, the people in your life come and go. Even your own body is not the same as it was yesterday. Cells die, new ones form. You are not the same person you were last year, last month, even yesterday. So why do you hold on to what is already gone? Imagine a storm. The wind howls, the trees bend, the rain pours. But does the storm last forever? No, it comes, it passes, and the sky clears again. Anger is the same. But here is the problem. When the storm comes, people hold onto it. They trap it in their minds, refusing to let it pass. They replay it, talk about it, feed it, and in doing so they suffer. But what happens if you simply watch the storm? If you let it come, let it pass without chasing it? Peace, that is the way. Now I ask you, what are you holding on to right now? What anger, what resentment, what pain? Close your eyes, see it in your mind, and now imagine it dissolving. Imagine it floating away like a cloud in the sky. Feel the space it leaves behind. That space is your freedom. The next time someone tries to disturb your peace, remember this: they are just the wind, and you are the sky. The wind may come, it may blow, it may even shake the trees, but the sky remains untouched. So the choice is yours. Will you be like the sky, vast and free, or will you be like the trees, be breaking, fighting every storm? Let go, the past is gone, the future is unknown. All you have is this moment, and in this moment you have a choice to suffer or to be free. The power of detachment, freeing yourself from emotional chads. Do you know why you feel hurt when someone says something rude to you? Why does a small insult, a harsh word, or an unfair actions stay in your mind for hours or even days? It's because you are holding on. You are attached to words, to opinions, to how others treat you. But what if you could let go? What if nothing could touch your peace? Imagine this: you are walking down the street and a stranger shouts and insults at you. You don't know them, they don't know you. Do their words really mean anything? Should you let those words follow you home, sit in your mind, and ruin your day? Or should you let them pass like the wind blowing through the trees? Detachment is not about running away from life. It is not about Ignoring people or acting like nothing matters, it is about choosing what is worth your energy and what is not most. People waste their energy on things they cannot control: what others say, what others do, how others think. But tell me, can you change another person's mind? Can you stop people from being rude, unfair, or unkind? No, then why let them control your emotions? Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from attachment. When you are attached to how things should be, you suffer when they don't go your way. When you are attached to people treating you right, you suffer when they don't. But if you let go of these expectations, nothing can disturb your peace. Think about the sky. The sky does not cry when the clouds turn dark. The sky does not beg the sun to shine or the rain to stop. It simply is calm, vast, untouched. You can be like that. You don't have to let the storms of life shake you. You don't have to chase out after sunshine or run from the rain. The problem is people take everything personally. If someone ignores them, they feel rejected. If someone disagrees with them, they feel attacked. But what if I told you nothing is personal? People act based on their own minds, their own emotions, their own struggles. If someone is rude to you, it is a reflection of them, not you. A wise monk once said, if someone hands you a hot coal, do you have to take it? No, then why do you take every insult, every rude comment, every unfair moment and hold it like a burning coal in your hands? Drop it, let it fall. Do not carry what does not belong to you. Detachment does not mean you stop feeling, it means you stop clinging. You feel the emotion, but you do not become trapped by it. If someone upsets you, acknowledge it, but do not feed it. Do not replay it in your mind. Do not let it grow. Watch it come, watch it go. Like waves in the ocean, emotions rise and fall, but the ocean remains. Most people do the opposite. They hold on to negativity, replaying moments again and again in their minds. Why did they say that? Why did they do that? I should have said this instead. And in doing so, they keep their own wounds open. They choose suffering over peace. But why? The mind is a mirror. If you fill it with anger, it reflects anger. If you fill it with peace, it reflects peace. The world does not exist as it is, it exists as you see it. If you train your mind to let go, nothing will disturb you. Have you ever seen a river flowing? The water does not fight the rocks, it does not stop and argue, it moves around them, it flows. Be like the river. Do not stop for every little problem. Do not let every little thing block your path. Flow. But how do you practice detachment in real life? Start with awareness. When someone upsets you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? If it is not, let it go. Watch the emotion rise, but do not feed it. Let it pass like a cloud drifting in the sky. Next, practice non-resistance. Accept things as they are, not as you wish them to be. If someone is rude, let them be. If something is unfair, let it be. This does not mean you allow injustice. It means you do not let it poison your mind. Address it with wisdom, not with anger. And finally, remind yourself, nothing lasts forever. The words that hurt you today will be forgotten tomorrow. The people who upset you now will one day be gone. Even the biggest problems will pass. If everything is temporary, why hold on? Imagine how free you would be if you stopped taking things so seriously, if you stopped letting others control your mood, if you stopped attaching yourself to every little thing. Wouldn't that be peace? Wouldn't that be freedom? You do not need to react to everything. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to hold on to pain that does not serve you. Let go, breathe, be like the sky, vast, open, free. In the next part, we will go even deeper. You will learn how compassion, not anger, is the key to transforming your emotions, how kindness, not resistance, makes you truly unshakable. Stay with us. Your peace is closer than you think. Compassion over reaction, transforming anger into understanding. Close your eyes for a moment. Think about the last time someone made you angry. Maybe it was a friend who spoke harshly, a stranger who treated you unfairly, or a loved one who disappointed you. Now ask yourself, why did their actions have so much power over your emotions? Why did their words or behavior create a storm inside you? Most people believe that anger is a natural reaction to being hurt or mistreated, but is it? Imagine someone insults you in a language you don't understand. Would you feel offended? No, because their words would mean nothing to you. The truth is, it's not the insult itself that causes anger, it's your interpretation of it. If you change your understanding, you change your reaction. Buddhism teaches that anger is like picking up a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else who gets burned first. You do. Every time you let anger take over, you are the one who suffers the most. But what if instead of reacting with anger, you could respond with something else? What if instead of being controlled by others' words or actions, you could transform that energy into understanding? The answer is compassion. Compassion is not about letting people walk all over you. It is not about accepting injustice or ignoring wrongdoing. It is about seeing beyond the surface. When someone hurts you, it is because they are suffering inside. A happy, peaceful person does not spread pain. Only those who are wounded do. When you understand this, their words lose power over you. Imagine a small child throwing a tantrum. They scream, they cry, they kick. Would you take it personally? Would you feel insulted by their words? No, because you understand that they are acting out of frustration, not out of wisdom. You see their suffering, and you do not let it disturb your peace. Now realize this. Many adults are the same. Their actions may be bigger, their words may be sharper, but deep inside they are still acting from pain, insecurity, or ignorance. When someone is rude to you, instead of reacting with anger, try asking yourself, what kind of suffering is this person carrying? Maybe they are stressed, maybe they feel unheard, maybe they are afraid. Understanding this doesn't mean you excuse bad behavior, it simply means you refuse to let their suffering become your suffering. Offering a great Zen master once said, "Hate is never conquered by hate, cap is conquered by love." This is an eternal truth. What happens when you respond to anger with more anger? It grows, it spreads like wildfire, burning everything in its path. But when you respond with understanding, the fire has nothing left to burn, it dies out. Think about a time when you were angry. Maybe you lashed out, maybe you held on to it for days. Did it bring you peace? Did it solve the problem, or did it only leave you feeling more exhausted, more bitter? Anger drains you, it steals your joy, and the worst part, the person who made you angry often moves on with their day, completely unaware of the storm raging inside you. So why give them that power? Why carry that burden? There is a simple practice to free yourself from this cycle. The next time someone upsets you, instead of reacting immediately, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, is this worth disturbing my peace? See their suffering, feel their pain, and then instead of anger, choose something different. Choose compassion. This does not mean you allow disrespect. It does not mean you let others mistreat you. It simply means you respond with wisdom, not emotion. If someone speaks harshly, you can walk away. If someone is unfair, you can stand your ground without hatred in your heart. This is strength, not being controlled by the behavior of others. There is a story of the Buddha and a man who insulted him. The man shouted, cursed, and tried to provoke him, but the Buddha remained calm. After a while, the man became frustrated and asked, why do you not react to my words? Mean nothing to you? The Buddha smiled and said, if someone offers you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong? The man thought for a moment and replied, to the one who offered it. The Buddha nodded. Then why should I accept your anger? It belongs to you, not me. This is the key. You do not have to accept others' anger, their cruelty, or their negativity. You can choose to let it pass through you like wind passing through the trees. No resistance, no attachment, just peace. The mind loves to hold on to pain. It replays arguments. It builds resentment. It feeds the fire of anger. But what if you let go? What if you refuse to carry that weight? Imagine how much lighter, how much freer your life would feel. A simple shift in perspective can change everything. The next time someone upsets you, instead of thinking, why are they treating me this way, ask, what pain must they be carrying to act this way? This small question can dissolve anger in an instant. The world is full of people who act out of their wounds, but you don't have to be one of them. You can be the calm in the storm, the steady rock in the waves. You can be the one who sees, who understands, who chooses peace over reaction. There is great power and compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. When you choose understanding over anger, you free yourself from suffering. You reclaim your peace, and in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. The journey is not about never feeling anger. It is about learning how to transform it, because when you master this, no one, not a stranger, not a friend, not even an enemy, can take away your peace, and that is true strength. Mastering your mind, training thoughts to stay calm. Sit still for a moment, close your eyes, listen. Can you hear it? The endless noise inside your mind, thoughts rushing like a river, some loud, some quiet, some angry, some restless. Your mind is always talking, always reacting, always holding on to something. But have you ever stopped to ask who is really in control? The magic this: you wake up in the morning feeling peaceful, but then someone says something rude, and suddenly your whole mood changes. Your heart beats faster, your hands tighten, and anger rises before you even realize it. Why? Who gave them the power to control your emotions? It wasn't them, it was you. Your mind untamed is reacting like a wild horse running without direction. If a wild horse runs without control, it can destroy everything in its path. But a trained horse can travel great distances, carry great burdens, and move with grace. Your mind is the same. If you don't train it, it will drag you into anger, worry, and frustration. But if you learn to guide it, it will bring you peace no matter what happens around you. Think about this: if someone throws a rock into a calm lake, the water ripples for a moment, then becomes still again. But if the lake is already disturbed, the ripples spread, mixing with the chaos. Your mind is the same. If you keep it calm, no outside force can truly disturb you. But if it is already restless, even the smallest disturbance will feel overwhelming. The question is, how do you train your mind? How do you stop it from reacting to everything that happens? The answer is simple yet powerful: awareness. You must become the observer of your thoughts, not their prisoner. Right now, when anger rises, you don't notice it until it is already taken over. By the time you realize you are angry, you have already spoken harsh words, already felt your heart race, already let it affect you. But what if you could catch anger at the very first moment before it fully forms? Imagine you are sitting by a fire. A small spark flies out and lands on your sleeve. If you notice it immediately, you can brush it off. But if you don't, it will burn a hole through your clothes, then through your skin. Anger is the same. If you see it the moment it appears, you can let it go. But if you let it grow, it will consume you. One way to train your mind is to practice pausing. The next time you feel anger rising, do nothing. Just stop. Do not speak. Do not react. Just observe. Feel the heat in your chest, the tension in your jaw. Notice it. Name it. Say to yourself, this is anger. It is rising. The moment you do this, you separate yourself from the emotion. You are no longer in the storm. You are watching it from a distance. A monk once said, the first thought is not your silence is strength. The wisdom of non-reactivity. You walk into a room and someone says something rude to you. Your first instinct to reply, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong. But what if you didn't? What if instead of reacting, you stayed silent? Not out of weakness, but out of strength. Most people think silence means losing. They believe that if they don't respond, they are letting the other person win. But the truth is, silence is often the greatest victory. A strong person doesn't need to prove themselves with words. A wise person knows that not every battle is worth fighting. Imagine a mirror. When someone stands in front of it, it simply reflects. It does not argue. It does not resist. It does not get angry. It simply shows what is in front of it. You can be like that mirror. When someone throws anger at you, let it pass through you. Let it reflect back without clinging to it. A monk once said, if someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, whom does the gift belong to? The answer is simple. It still belongs to the giver. The same is true for anger, insults, and negativity. If someone throws these at you, but you do not accept them, they do not belong to you. They remain with the person who gave them. But most people, they grab onto the insults, they hold them tightly, they replace them in their minds over and over. Why did they say that? How do they speak to me like that? And in doing so, they suffer not because of the words, but because they accepted them. When you react, you give your energy away. You let someone else control your emotions. You let them decide whether you will have a good day or a bad one. But when you stay silent, when you do not engage, you keep your energy. You remain in control. Silence does not mean weakness. It does not mean you allow others to walk over you. It means you are wise enough to choose where to place your energy. Some battles are not worth fighting. Some words are not worth responding to. Think of a still lake. If you throw a stone into it, the ripples spread. But if the lake is truly still, the ripples fade quickly and the water returns to peace. Now imagine an ocean during a storm. Wild, chaotic, uncontrolled. Which one do you want to be? In Buddhism, there is a concept called equanimity, the ability to remain calm no matter what happens around you. It means being unshaken by praise or criticism, by success or failure, by kindness or cruelty. It is the ultimate strength when you remain silent. In the face of provocation, you are practicing equanimity. You are showing that your peace does not depend on others. You are proving that no one has the power to disturb your mind unless you give them permission. Many great teachers have been insulted, ridiculed, and tested, but instead of reacting with anger, they responded with silence, not because they could not speak, but because they chose not to, because their inner peace was more valuable than any argument. The Buddha himself was insulted. Many times people called him names, tried to challenge him, tried to make him react. But he simply smiled and remained silent. His silence was his power. His silence was his message. And in the end, it was the people who insulted him who looked foolish, not him. Silence is uncomfortable. For most people, they want a reaction, they want drama, they want to pull you into their negativity. But when you stay silent, you take that power away from them. You refuse to play their game. Imagine a person standing in front of a wall, yelling at it. They scream, they insult, they try to provoke it, but the Wall does not respond. Eventually they grow tired, they stop, they walk away. Be like that wall, let people's negativity hit you and fall away, but silence is not just about not speaking, it is also about not reacting in your mind. True silence is when you no longer let insults affect you internally, when your mind remains as still as a mountain even in the strongest storm. Some people hold on to anger even when they don't express it. They stay silent on the outside but boil with rage on the inside. That is not true silence. True silence is complete detachment. It is when someone's words mean nothing to you, when they no longer have any effect on your emotions. This does not mean you suppress your emotions, it means you understand them, you see them clearly, you recognize that anger is like a flame, it only grows if you feed it, and you choose not to feed it. A lion does not turn around every time a dog barks, it does not chase after every small animal that crosses its path. It walks with dignity, with strength, with essence. You can do the same. Every time you react with anger, you drain yourself. Every time you argue, you waste energy. But every time you stay silent, you build power. You keep your peace, you remain in control. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Do not react. Do not let them pull you into their storm. Instead, stay silent, stay still, stay strong. Silence is not emptiness, it is not avoidance, it is wisdom, it is power. It is freedom, and once you master it, no one will ever be able to disturb your peace again. Seeing through others, how to stop taking things personally. Do you know why people's words hurt you? Why their opinions, their judgments, and their actions disturb your peace? It is because you believe them. You believe that their words mean something about you. But what if I told you they don't? Imagine someone walks up to you and calls you a fool, and immediately your heart beats faster, your mind starts racing, you feel offended. But stop for a moment, ask yourself what has actually happened. Did their words change anything about you? Did you suddenly become a fool just because they said so? No, nothing changed. The only thing that happened is you believed them, and that belief created suffering. But now imagine this: someone walks up to you and calls you a flying elephant. Would you get offended? Would you be angry? No, you would probably laugh, because you know it's not true. The words have no power over you. So here's the question: why do some words hurt while others don't? The answer is simple: only the words that you secretly believe have the power to hurt you. If someone calls you lazy and deep down you fear that it might be true, their words will sting. But if you know with full confidence that it's not true, their words will be meaningless, just like the flying elephant. This is the key to freedom. If you stop believing in people's words, you stop suffering from them. Think about a mirror. If someone stands in front of a mirror and makes a silly face, does the mirror get upset? No, the mirror simply reflects. It does not argue, it does not take offense, it does not say, "Why are you making this face at me?" It simply allows the image to come and go. Be like the mirror. When people say things to you, don't absorb their words, just F them, see them for what they are, just sounds in the air, just opinions coming from their own mind, their own experiences. None of it defines you. Many people carry anger in their hearts and they throw it at others, but their anger is not about you. It's about them. A person who is peaceful inside does not insult others. A person who is happy does not try to hurt others. If someone is being rude, it means they are suffering inside, so why take it personally? If someone throws garbage on the street, do you pick it up and carry it with you? No, you leave it where it is. In the same way, when someone throws their anger, their jealousy, their negativity at you, don't pick it up, leave it with them. This is what the Buddha taught: no one can hurt you unless you allow them to. If someone insults you, you have two choices. You can take their words, hold on to them, and suffer, where you can leave them behind. Like a traveler walking past a rock on the road, a monk once told a story. A man came to him shouting insults, trying to make him angry, but the monk just smiled and stayed silent. After a while, the man became frustrated and asked, "Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you angry?" The monk replied, "If someone brings a gift, but I do not accept it, then who does the gift belong to?" The man thought for a moment and said to the one who brought it. The monk smiled, "Exactly, I do not accept your anger, so it remains with you." This is wisdom. If someone is throwing negativity yet you don't accept it, leave it with them. But this is not easy, is it? The mind wants to fight back. It wants to prove itself. It wants to say, "I am not what you say I am." But here is the truth: you do not need to prove anything to anyone. If you know who you are, then why do you need someone else to confirm it? Imagine a lion walking in the jungle. The small dogs bark at him. Do you think the lion stops and argues with the dogs? No, he keeps walking. He knows who he is. He does not need to prove his power to the dogs. Be like the lion. Let People talk, let them have their opinions. It does not change who their words are. Like the wind, you cannot catch them, and they cannot harm you, but you might say, what if they are close to me? What if it's my family, my friends? Their words hurt even more. Yes, it is true, the closer someone is, the more their words seem to matter. But ask yourself, why does their opinion affect you so much? Because you seek their approval, you want them to see you in a certain way, and when they don't, it feels painful. But here is the truth: you do not need anyone's approval. To be at peace, the only person who needs to accept you is you. If you're waiting for others to validate you, you will always be a prisoner to their opinions. Some days they will praise you, and you will feel happy. Other days they will criticize you, and you will feel miserable. Your peace will always depend on them. But the moment you stop seeking their approval, you become free. You realize that their opinions are just clouds passing in the sky. They come, they go, they change every moment, but the sky, the real you, remains untouched. There is a saying: a wise man does not get disturbed by what others say, just as the ocean does not get disturbed by a small stone thrown into it. So be like the ocean. Someone throws an insult, it sinks into your depths and disappears. Someone praises you, it also sinks and disappears. Neither praise nor criticism should shake you. Now think about your life. How many times have you taken things personally? How many moments of peace have you lost because of someone else's words? Was it worth it today? Make a decision. Decide that from now on you will not let the opinions of others control you. Decide that you will see through them. Understand that their words are about them, not about you. When you do this, something incredible happens. You become untouchable. No one can shake you. No one can disturb your peace. The world is full of noise, but you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to react. You don't have to take any of it personally. Let people talk. Let them think what they want. You walk your own path. You stay in your own peace. That is true freedom. In the next part, we will explore the power of karma and anger, how your reactions shape your future, and how mastering your emotions can change your destiny. Stay with us. The journey is just getting deeper. Karma and anger, how your reactions shape your future. Let me tell you something: anger is never free. It always comes with a cost. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? Every time you lose your temper, you are spending something valuable: your peace, your energy, your time. But what do you gain from it? Nothing but regret, tension, and more suffering. Is it worth it? You may think that getting angry at someone teaches them a lesson, that it makes them understand your pain, but does it really? If someone yells at you, do you suddenly respect them more? Do you feel enlightened, or do you feel resentment? It's the same when you get angry at others. Your anger does not fix the situation, it only adds fuel to the fire. Buddhism teaches that every action creates a ripple. This is karma, not as punishment, not as reward, but as a natural law. Just like dropping a stone in water creates waves, your emotions, words, and actions create effects that come back to you. If you react with anger, what do you think will return to you? More anger, more negativity, more suffering. Some people think, but I have a right to be angry. They were wrong. Maybe they were, but does your anger change with what happened? If someone breaks a glass, does shouting at the broken pieces put them back together? No, the glass is still broken. The only thing anger does is break you a little more. Imagine this: you were walking through a market and someone accidentally steps on your foot. It hurts, and your first reaction is frustration, but then you look up and see that the person is blind. Would you still be angry? No, because you understand they didn't mean it. Now think, are most people who hurt you also blind? Not in their eyes, but in their mind. People act out of ignorance, out of their own pain, out of their own karma. If you see this, you will stop taking things so personally. Some people hold on to anger for years, even decades, but holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal, waiting to throw it at someone who gets burned first. You do the person you were angry at might have moved on, forgotten the incident, or never even realized they hurt you. Yet you suffer, replaying the pain over and over. Why would you do this to yourself? Ka is not about revenge, it is about reflection. If you want peace in your life, you must plant the seeds of peace. If you want to be free from anger, you must stop feeding it. Every time you choose patience over rage, understanding over judgment, you change the energy around you. You stop the cycle of suffering and create a new path. Have you ever noticed that angry people act more conflict? Wherever they go, problems seem to follow them. This is not a coincidence. Their energy invites it. When you carry anger, the world reflects it back at you. But when you carry peace, the world responds differently. Think of water. When it is still, it reflects everything clearly, but when it is disturbed, it becomes cloudy, chaotic. The mind is the same. When you react in anger, you cannot see things as they are. You misjudge situations, say things you don't mean, make choices you later regret. Only when the water is calm can you see the truth. If someone insults you, what happens? You feel pain, but why there? Words are just sounds, just vibrations in the air. They only hurt because you accept them. Imagine someone throws a gift at you, but you refuse to catch it. What happens? The gift falls to the ground. The same is true with insults, with anger, with negativity. If you do not pick them up, they cannot harm you. Anger does not arise from what happens to you. It arises from how you interpret it. Two people can experience the same event, but one remains calm while the other explodes. Why? Because anger is not in the event, it is in the mind. Then what is in the mind can be changed. Some people say, I cannot control my anger, it just happens, but that is not true. If you were arguing with someone filled with rage, and suddenly your phone rang with an important call, what would happen instantly? You would compose yourself. Your tone would soften, your anger would disappear for the moment. This means you can control it, you just don't practice it enough. What if instead of reacting immediately, you paused, took a deep breath, counted to 3? In that space, you create power, the power to choose your response. And in that choice, your karma changes. Instead of repeating the old cycle of anger and regret, you create a new path of peace and wisdom. Anger is a visitor, it does not have to be your home. When it arises, do not invite it and do not offer it tea, do not make it comfortable, simply acknowledge it and let it go. If you do this again and again, anger will find no place to stay in your heart. Some think that being calm means being weak, but tell me, who is stronger? The person who is controlled by every little irritation, or the one who remains steady no matter what comes true? Strength is not in shouting the loudest, it is in remaining unshaken. A great Zen master once said, no one can take your peace unless you give it away, and yet most people give it away so easily, to a rude stranger, to a careless driver, to a difficult coworker. Why let them have such power over you? Why let them decide how you feel? Buddhism does not teach that you should suppress your emotions. Suppression is like trapping fire in a box. It will only burn stronger. Instead, it teaches you to understand them, to observe them, to see that they are not you. The anger comes, the anger goes, but you remain like the sky remains even when the clouds pass. Your ka is being written every moment, every time you choose peace over anger, patience over irritation, wisdom over reaction. You are shaping your future. What kind of future do you want? One filled with conflict, stress, and regret, or one filled with clarity, calmness, and strength? The choice is yours. You do not have to be a victim of your emotions. You do not have to be a prisoner of anger. The door to freedom is open. The only question is, will you walk through it? The ultimate test, applying these teachings in real life. You have walked this path of wisdom. You have heard the teachings, seen their truth, and perhaps even felt their power, but knowing is not enough. The real test is out there in the middle of daily life, when the world pushes you, provokes you, and dares you to react. The question is, will you imagine this? You wake up in the morning feeling peaceful, the air is cool, the world is still, but as soon as you step outside, the test begins. Someone haps at you for no reason. A coworker makes a rude remark, a family member complains about something small. These are the moments that matter. These are the moments that define whether you truly understand or if your mind still belongs to anger. Buddhism teaches that wisdom is not measured by words, but by how unshaken you remain in the face of life's chaos. You may sit in meditation and feel at peace, but can you hold that peace when someone insults you, when someone blames you for something you didn't do, when life throws obstacles in your way? Most people think they need perfect conditions to remain calm. I can be peaceful if everyone is kind to me. I can be patient if no one tests me. But what kind of peace depends on others behaving a certain way? That is not peace, that is weakness. True peace is unshakable. It is yours to create no matter what happens around you. So how do you apply these teachings when life tests you? How do you stop yourself from falling into old patterns of anger and Frustration, the answer is simple: pause before you react, before you say a single word. Take a breath, feel the motion rising, but do not let it control you. Just observe that small pause. Just a few seconds can be the difference between peace and suffering. Someone insults you, pause, feel the words entering your ears. But do not let them enter your mind. They are just sounds, empty and meaningless. Unless you give them meaning, a wave may crash against a rock, but the rock does not chase the wave. Be the rock. Someone blames you unfairly, pause. Is their judgment a reflection of who you are, or a reflection of their own mind? Do you need to prove yourself, or is your own understanding enough? What is stronger, your own self-awareness or the opinions of others? You will be tested again and again. The world will not change just because you have gained wisdom. People will still be rude, injustice will still exist, difficulties will still come, but what can change is you, your mind, your response, your ability to remain untouched by it all. Think about fire. Fire does not burn itself. Fire only burns what is willing to be consumed. If anger rises in your heart, ask yourself, who is suffering because of this? It is always you, the person who made you angry. They have moved on, but you are still carrying the fire, still feeling its heat, still letting it burn your peace. Why this practice is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming free, free from the need to react, free from the trap of taking things personally, free from letting the outside world control your inner world. The goal is not to suppress anger, it is to see through it, to understand its nature, and to let it go before it takes hold of you. Every moment is an opportunity to practice. The next time someone annoys you, do not see it as a problem, see it as a lesson, a chance to test yourself, a chance to remain unmoved, a chance to prove to yourself that no one can disturb your peace unless you allow them to. Some may say, but I am only human, I cannot always remain calm, and that is true, but you can try, you can improve, you can fail today and succeed tomorrow. Even the Buddha, before his enlightenment, was tested again and again by distractions, by criticism, by suffering, but he did not give in, he did not fight back, he simply observed, understood, and remained at peace. Think of a tree. A tree does not argue with the wind, it does not resist the rain, it simply stands strong and silent, accepting whatever comes. You can be that tree. You do not need to react to everything. Not everything deserves your energy, not everything requires your response. Then, when the world sees that they cannot disturb you, something interesting happens. People stop trying. When you do not react, those who seek to provoke you lose interest, they move on, bond, and you remain calm, unshaken, untouched by their chaos. There is a great power in stillness, in being the one who does not argue, who does not fight, who does not let their emotions be controlled by others. That is true strength, that is real mastery. So the next time life tests you, remember this: you are not here to win arguments, you are not here to prove yourself to others. You are here to master your own mind. Nothing else matters, nothing else is worth disturbing your peace. This is your test, this is your challenge. The question is, will you pass? Unshakable peace. Never let anyone disturb you again. Sit with me for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your body right now. In this moment, there is nothing to worry about, nothing to be angry about, nothing to be disturbed by. But as soon as you step back into the world, something will try to pull you away from this peace. Someone will say something rude, something unfair will happen. The world will not change, people will not stop being difficult, situations will not always go your way, but there is one thing that can change you for so long. You have allowed your emotions to be controlled by others. If someone was kind, you felt happy. If someone was rude, you felt angry. If things went smoothly, you felt at peace. If things went wrong, you felt frustrated. Your peace was never truly yours. It always depended on something outside of you. But what if that changed? What if nothing could disturb you anymore? What if no one had the power to make you angry? What if you could walk through life like a great mountain, silent, strong, and unmoved by the winds of the world? This is not just a dream, this is possible, and the path to this freedom has been in front of you all along. Think about it. How many times have you been angry only to regret it later? How many times have you allowed someone's words to live inside your head for hours, days, or even years? Did your Anger ever fix the situation? Did it ever bring you peace? Buddha once said. Holding onto anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It does not hurt them, it only destroys you. So now ask yourself, why should you continue to suffer for someone else's actions? People will always be people. Some will be kind, some will be cruel, some will understand you, some never will. But the good news is you don't have to change them, you only have to change how you react. Let's say someone insults you. Before you would get angry, defend yourself, maybe even argue back, but now, look at it differently. Their words are just sounds in the air. Why should a few sounds have the power to control your peace? Imagine you are walking through a forest and a bird starts making a loud, annoying noise. Would you get angry? Would you shout at the bird to stop? No, you would accept that birds make noise. You would walk on. Now treat people the same way. If someone is rude, if someone criticizes you, if someone tries to provoke you, see them as the bird in the forest. Let them make their noise. You do not have to respond. You do not have to react. You do not have to let them take even a second of your peace. This is what it means to be unshakable, but this does not mean you should let people walk over you. Know it means you respond with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. It means you choose peace over conflict. It means you do not allow your happiness to be in the hands of others. Now let's go even deeper. Have you noticed that when you are truly happy, nothing bothers you? If you are in love, if you have just received good news, if your heart is full of joy, nothing seems to disturb you. Someone could cut you off in traffic, someone could be rude, and you would just smile and move on. This proves something important. Anger does not come from the outside, it comes from the inside. When your mind is full of peace, there is no space for anger. But when your mind is restless, every little thing bothers you. So now your task is simple. Fill your mind with peace. Make it so full that anger has nowhere to live. One of the greatest secrets in Buddhism is that what you focus on grows. If you focus on people's flaws, you will see more flaws. If you focus on unfairness, you will find more unfairness. But if you focus on peace, you will see peace everywhere. Start small. The next time something annoys you, pause, take a deep breath. Instead of reacting, just watch the feeling. Observe it like a cloud passing in the sky. A monk once said, when someone offers you a gift of anger, you do not have to accept it. If someone throws a burning coal at you, will you catch it with your hands? No, you will let it fall to the ground. Now do the same with anger. Let it drop. Do not hold on to it. Do not let it burn you. And when you do this again and again, something amazing will happen. The world will remain the same, but you will change. You will become light-free, untouchable. But now a final question remains. Will you choose this path? Because right now you have two choices. You can continue as you have, letting small things disturb your mind, letting people control your emotions, letting anger steal your happiness, where you can step into a new way of living, a way where you are in control, a way where nothing and no one can disturb your peace, a way where anger becomes nothing more than a forgotten memory. The choice is yours. And if this journey has helped you, if this wisdom has touched something deep inside you, then we invite you to stay with us. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So if you found this valuable, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Help us spread this wisdom, and tell us, what was your biggest realization from this journey? Drop it in the comments below. Now take one last deep breath. Feel the stillness. This is your natural state. This is who you are. Beneath all the noise, this is peace. Carry it with you. Always sit with me. A little longer. The video may have ended, but the journey is never truly over. The path to peace is endless, like the flowing of a river, like the gentle movement of clouds in the sky. There is always something more to see, something deeper to understand. You have come far, but I know you still have questions. Some doubts may remain. What if someone really crosses the line? What if I am disrespected again? What if I try, but I still get angry? I hear you, and I will tell you, this anger is not something that disappears overnight. It is like a fire that has been burning for years, maybe even lifetimes. To put it out completely, you must stop adding fuel. You must see the fire for what it truly is. Let's talk about it deeply, without rush, without distraction. Why do we cling to anger? Have you ever noticed that anger makes you feel powerful? When you are angry, your chest tightens, your voice becomes stronger, your thoughts race in. That moment you feel alive, as if the anger itself gives you strength. But is this real strength, or is it just an illusion? Real strength is calm, steady, and unwavering. Anger is wild, uncontrolled, and unstable. When you are angry, you may feel strong, but you are actually at your weakest. Your mind is clouded, your judgment is poor, your actions are impulsive. True strength is The ability to remain unmoved in the face of provocation. A rock does not get angry when the waves crash against it. A mountain does not tremble when the wind howls. You too can be like that rock, like that mountain. But first, you must understand the roots of your anger. The roots of anger: ego and detachment. Why do you get angry if someone calls you a fool? Why does it bother you if someone insults your beliefs? Why do you feel the need to defend yourself if someone treats you unfairly? Why do you feel wounded? It is because of ego and attachment. Ego says, I am important, my opinions matter, my pride must be protected. So when someone challenges your ego, you react, you feel attacked, you want to prove them wrong. Attachment says, things should be the way I want them to be. So when life does not go according to your expectations, you resist, you fight against reality, and this fight creates suffering. But here's the truth: ego is an illusion and attachment is a trap. If someone calls you a fool, does that make you a fool? No, it is just words, just sounds in the air. If a parrot repeats those same words, will you be offended? No, because you know the parrot does not understand. Now take this wisdom deeper. People too are just repeating what they have been conditioned to say. For so long, you may have believed that anger was natural, that it was something beyond your control. But now, you see the truth. Anger is not something that happens to you. It is something you choose. Herb like a river that does not cling to a single wave. You too can let emotions pass without being consumed by them. When you stop reacting, when you stop giving others control over your peace, you reclaim your power. Rocket, your journey to inner peace doesn't end here. Visit Calm Heal to explore more teachings that can transform your perspective and free your mind. If this message speaks to you, like, comment, and subscribe to Calm Heal for more insights on mindfulness, detachment, and emotional balance. Speech balloon: have you ever experienced the power of letting go instead of reacting? How did it change your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below.